What is good, YouTube? Coach Leo here. Now, quickly do me a favor and just take a look at this scoreboard. I'm sure we've all been in a similar situation to this before. You know, we had a good early game, but now we have some interesting teammates and the game is not looking so good. However, what if I told you that you can still carry these games, you know, with a good mindset and some insane fundamentals that I'm going to share with you guys that I have learned from my 6 years of pro play experience, as well as being challenger every year. Okay, so jumping straight into this review now, the three main concepts that I really want you guys and what we're going to be talking about. You may have heard me talk about them before, but this is going to be protecting waves. This is about predicting the enemy and catching them. Trading. So, you know, usually when you're weaker, when you have some teammates like this, you know, we can't really choose our fights. We kind of have to adapt to what the map is giving us. And then finally, you've probably heard me talk about this before as well. It is going to be about uptime, downtime. Okay, so starting off from this lovely little moment here in the screenshot, as you can see, top's not doing so hot, down 35 CS. Mid's not doing so hot, kind of just inting, down 40 CS. And my lovely bot lane has picked Janna and Morgana. Obviously, they're not inting or anything at this point, but you know, it's not the greatest pairing with Dana. So, you know, I'm already feeling not the most confident in this game. And so, you know, I left this round that we're about to watch, I left it in this video because I want you guys to kind of understand that no matter what rank you are, no matter who you are, it is normal to feel frustrated and to get tilted. And, you know, the reason why I left what you're about to see in the video, you know, me chasing this guy, me not killing him and feeling frustrated, is because there's a certain point where I just kind of lock in and I focus on these three things right here, right? I lock in, I focus on these three: protecting waves, trading, and uptime, downtime. And the game just feels so easy. And so that is really the main idea that I'm trying to share with you guys. If you have the right mentality, if you're not too concerned about the outcome of the game, you know, you're not supposed to win every single game, of course. This is something I commonly talk about. You know, you're not supposed to win every single game. And so, you know, in this round, even here, right, I'm trying to translate my lead, trying to have a little skirmish here. You know, my team isn't like inting, obviously. They're not just like running it down. I mean, they have given up. They wanted to surrender. And so this is where you see, you know, some of my frustration come in. I'm like, hey, like, what just happened? We just killed Senna. I died. And so, you know, I'm pinging it. And this is the moment. This is the moment where I was like, okay, you know what? Let me lock in. Let me see, you know, if I follow the fundamentals. Let's see if I follow the fundamentals that I preach. And, you know, maybe we'll have a YouTube banger for this game. So, you know, I lock in here. I die. It's okay. And so this is where one of the first big fundamentals comes into this game. Okay. So this is where we talk a little bit about uptime, downtime, but also this is where we talk about this first thing: protecting waves, catching people on waves, predicting people's movements like this rise, going for this wave. So you're going to see this countless, it's going to be like clockwork, this game. This idea of protecting waves and making picks when enemies go for waves. Now, mind you, this is a Grandmaster MMR game, okay? And so, you know, I don't want to hear like anything about, oh, this is just high elo, or in my elo, people just ARAM. Like, people will get caught on side waves all the time. And when you think about protecting waves, you're looking at waves coming out of your base like this, right? I'm close to the bot side. This wave is coming out. I have my Ornn here with me. You know, his positioning was pretty good as well, was pretty smurf. But you'll see it many, many times. I'll show you a bunch of different examples. And this is a real way of playing from, not only playing from behind, you know, as you can see here, now this opens up to, you know, this dragon contest. And I believe that the dragon score this game wasn't really, you know, I think it was like 1-1 at this point, or maybe it was 1-0 at this point. And something else, when you kind of have a calm mindset, and when you have this calm idea of, you know, calm jungling, players will come to you. Like, you have to realize that the enemy are just as big of inters as your inters, okay? So, you know, if the enemy team just plays completely perfectly, right? Whatever, you're going to lose. The whole idea is, especially when you've done the right things in the game and you set yourself up in the game, the whole idea is to stay as strong as you possibly can by trading, by minimizing, by making picks, holding your composure, right? The whole idea is to stay strong enough so when the enemy do make ints like this Rek'Sai just like flashing in for whatever reason, that you're strong enough to actually kill him, or you're strong enough to actually be the difference in a fight. That is the whole idea of when you have inting teammates, or when you have teammates that aren't doing so hot. Just remember, the enemy team also have inters. And the worst thing you can do is just think, oh, well, we're just going to lose this game anyway. Let me just go for something crazy. Okay, so this is where we're going to talk a little bit about uptime, downtime. When your team, right, is basing like this, and I'm sure a lot of my viewers will have heard me talk about uptime, downtime many, many times. When your team is not in position to pressure, for example, dead or basing, just not on the map, this is time for you to just farm your own camps. So this is just a downtime example of when my Janna is basing. We don't want to be going into enemy jungle, right? We don't want to be protecting waves yet, but protecting waves is about to happen on the uptime, okay? So right here on the uptime, so we've just played downtime here well, we're currently playing downtime right now because our Janna is in base. So if this Yasuo is now basing as well, as you can see, this is a clear downtime kind of scenario, a clear downtime scenario. However, obviously there are some gray areas, right? Obviously there's no extreme hard set rule. I'm still thinking protecting waves here as well. And I'm still thinking, okay, can we protect this wave? My Yasuo is not really in sync with the rest of the team. You know, uptime, downtime, this is for all lanes, not just jungle. This is a universal thing for all champions in League of Legends. And you can see here, if Yasuo was actually on tempo with Janna, we would actually catch this rise here, which would be a really, really good play. So anyway, so Yasuo is not on tempo. This is a little bit risky because Yasuo is not on tempo. However, we have full kind of vision now of everyone. We see them all here. So we can go for this play. And again, like clockwork, we catch the rise, protecting the wave, playing the uptime. And yeah, the whole idea of uptime, right? The whole idea of uptime is when you have people pressuring things, like people pushing waves, if people gank your Yasuo, you want to be able to also be able to take something. So that's the whole idea of playing uptime. It's a game of pressure. The whole idea of why you don't want to be doing this when your team's in base is because if they have numbers here, your team's not going to really be able to have anything. Like if the enemy team had 5 people here, maybe my Morgana could break mid and maybe my Yasuo could like break bot or something, you know? It wouldn't be too bad. So like clockwork, we kill the rise again. Something else you'll see in this game that I do a lot, which is, you know, when I lock in like this, it's not just my own game that I'm thinking about, right? I'm really micromanaging people to also understand uptime, downtime. Okay, so what did we base here, right? When you're behind as well, you don't want to take the whole game back in one go. It would be kind of in tier to just try and do the Artican and undo the good that we've just done with these 2 picks and the fight around here and the dragon. Of course, Artican is a very difficult objective to take. It can almost count as 1 or 2 other enemies. So we just base here instead. You know, we also have 2k gold. Good time to buy. Me and Janna syncing up. Perfect. So in that case, we used our downtime to spend gold. We didn't use our downtime to farm. We used it to spend gold. Now we immediately go straight to uptime. This is what I like to call a sneaky camp. So you can see here, I'm not going to my wolves, right? I want to try and be as far up on this line as possible. So in case my team ints or the enemy team goes on my team or whatever happens here, I want to be in position where I can trade something back. If I was on wolves here, right, and my team dies here, at least I would want to trade scuttle. I'd want to trade protecting this wave or maybe even enemy bot side camps. A lot of you may ask, why do I not run straight to the Artican here? The amount of times I've seen this during coaching is incredible because when you're playing something like that now, or no matter what you play here really, it is not your job here to go here and play bodyguard. Okay, that's Janna's job. Janna's job is to go here, get information while you farm and then react to, okay, we can contest or okay, we can't contest, let's go trade. Okay, so it's not your job to play bodyguard. And so because we go to scuttle here, because we're thinking protecting waves, because we, although a little bit late on this, I may say, and this is the big problem, you need to protect waves as their enemy are trying to kill it, right? You need to protect the wave then, because if they kill the wave like this, you may not get a chance to kill them now. Okay? You may not get a chance. However, this guy ran into me, so it was lucky. You really want to make sure you're killing them right here. It's almost like a prediction. So I should have smited this straight away and immediately gone to try and kill him. Straight away, instantly. And again, this is what the point of playing uptime is. When your team dies here, your Janna, you still are able to trade something back because you are ready on the map. So here we trade back. We get a 600 gold bounty. It's absolutely huge. Or a 279 gold bounty. Absolutely huge here. Enemy team is pushing top. Enemy Krugs are down. This would have been a good time to go and take enemy camps. However, I just play some downtime here because my Yasuo is basing. My Janna is running out of base. Just farm some camps here. Now my Yasuo TP is in. Now we're analyzing the fight. This is where a little bit of mentality stuff comes in. Don't compensate, right? So I can already tell that this is not a good fight because they have 4 people. We have 3. So This is already not a good fight. So you don't have to, again, keep composed here. Back ping, don't die. Because I don't follow this Yasuo and int with him, I'm able to continue and maintain my strength in the game. I'm able to maintain my agency so then I can use that agency when we can actually win a fight, which you'll see in a second. So now we base here again. We base on the downtime. My whole team is basing. We're all coming out of base now. We're about to play uptime. I'm trying to ping my team. You can see I'm trying to micromanage my team to protect waves. Obviously, we missed that wave. And so we want to just be, we're kind of just playing to minimize here. We're trying just to get some vision here. We're not really trying to fight. It's still about protecting waves. It's still about allowing Yasuo to push this waves, because protecting waves and getting waves pushed out in the mid game is everything. It allows you to get control. If you're able to get waves pushed like this in all 3 lanes and you own now this much of the map, that is obviously going to be very, very impactful in terms of information, because, you know, pushing out a wave, the enemy sees. So this is what I talk about, you know, maintaining your composure in the entire game. Everything I've done up to this point is leading me up to this moment. And of course, you still need to execute properly. But if I had compensated, right? If I had given up, if I had just thought, oh, whatever, game's lost, my team's inting, my team sucks, I had just lost 6 games before this. If I had done all that, I would not have been strong enough to make an impact enough in this fight. You know, maybe I wouldn't have had Zhonya's. Maybe I wouldn't have had as much damage or as many levels as I did to actually carry that fight. And that is what the most important thing as well in this video, as well as, you know, those concepts and ways to claw yourself back into the game. Again, the enemy team will not play perfectly, okay? So you always must consider that. Something that I tell students that I coach all the time. You know, the enemy, they're not, you know, they're not, sometimes they're T1, but most of the time they're not, okay? So yeah, this was a hugely influential game. Again, we're talking about uptime, downtime here. I make a little bit of a, kind of a greedy play, but my Yasuo is now basing. Usually after an objective, guys, League is a little bit turn-based. So we make a move here, we get some kills, we get the objective. It is now downtime, people are basing. For example, this guy's basing, this guy's basing. I'm using my downtime to farm instead of base. And this is a very common thing for junglers to do. However, in this case, I'm going to mess up my tempo a little bit, even though Morgana's basing with me and Janna now as well, which is good because I needed Void Staff. Or I wanted to get Void Staff. I greeted for an item, which is generally okay. So here we go again, straight to the uptime. What do you guys think we're going to do? Straight to the uptime, we're thinking protecting a wave. Which wave do we want to protect? The one on the side of the objective. So we're playing for this objective and playing for this objective, right? So we want to protect this wave or this wave. And right now it's just, you know, a better kind of move to be protecting the top wave. I will say here, this is slightly risky because we don't see all the numbers yet, right? We don't see whoever should be showing here. We don't see. So this is slightly risky. I think we jumped the gun a little bit here, and we're also weren't even on the wave. But, you know, as I said before, the enemies will also not play perfectly. And I'll say as well in this game, I don't think I had the best mechanics in this game, right? I hit a big ult on that bot skirmish, but this was all brain. Like, I had not played Diana for a while. Like, this was my first game in a very long time as Diana, as she just got the buff. And my mechanics were not the thing that carried me here. It wasn't like challenger, crazy outplay. It was simply the fact that I knew these concepts and my mentality, you know, even though I was tilted, I made that switch, that focus, which you guys can also do. And so we just turned this entire game around, right? We turn it around. So no matter what in your games, you have inters, of course, turn the chat off, right? Of course, turn the chat off. Don't even get involved. And we'll just kind of watch the way I you know, you can see how I'm pinging the next thing that we want to play for. I'm telling people where to go. And last again, like clockwork, this guy's not even watching his screen. But again, I'm protecting waves. I'm shadowing this wave. I'm seeing that this guy is here. We have a Void Staff now, so he kind of just gets one shot. Again, we're protecting waves. We're making sure we can push. In that way, we can progress the game. This is especially important when you have Baron, guys. When you have Baron, please do not just ARAM. Do not just ARAM down mid. Do not just ARAM and try and end the game in 27 minutes. Do not do this, okay? Because you will throw the game. Try and close the game out. League of Legends, you can kind of close the game out like a campaign game, like missions. Okay, mission, get Drake, get these tier 1s, get these tier 2s. Like, you can literally close the game out like that. You know, it's of course you can take the tier 2 top before you take the tier 2 mid if the situation arises, but the game is very much so like that. So as you can see here, I'm not even going for that last tower top, right? I'm just rotating straight to mid because we want to break the next kind of layer. Although some situations, of course, League is not so black or white. There's some situations where we should have pressured top because no one actually went top to defend. So we kind of jumped the gun a little bit. And so we play this fight out. I'm completely so I'm useless. Again here, I'm useless. I'm telling my team like, hey, back. We're not going to end the game here. We can't take more. So let's just play a downtime. And so we play a downtime here. We sync up our bases. Immediately, we're on the uptime. So as you can see here, do not farm a camp. Do not farm. This is not time to do a full clear. This is not, we're not at 5 minutes in the game. We want to, if you guys can guess what I'm about to say, we want to do something around this wave. Protect the wave. And look how I micromanage the team here, right? I know that this is uptime, so I'm saying, hey, come here. Come here, come here, walk in with me. If they're here, we want to kill them. And as you can see, when you push waves, look what happens. Enemies respond. Now you know how many numbers they could have here. You have more numbers. Like clockwork. Like clockwork, we go for the rise. We kill the rise. He's inting again. Just like I said, enemy team have inters. If anything, when you're playing from behind, you have this, kind of advantage, which is the fact that the enemy is going to be cocky. The enemy is going to be kind of like, oh yeah, we've won this game kind of. So that is one advantage that you actually have. And so yeah, we kill them all. We kill them. There's a bit of a fight happening and we win the game. Okay. So yeah, this is a quick little video. I just want to show you guys, kind of the mindset, kind of the tools, things that you can use. It's not hopeless. Yes, you're not going to win every single game. However, you can win a lot more than what you think. So if you enjoyed this video, if you're able to learn something from it, leave a comment down below, leave a like, consider dropping a sub, and I'll see you guys all in the future videos. Peace.